And we're rolling.
Hi friends, today we're going to be reading Secrets of the Seashore. Here we go. It says, a tide pool is a hollow on the seashore. Can you see what happens when the tide comes in? Ready for this? All right, here we go. Here's our light. Look at all those little creatures in that tide pool. Whoa, shrimps and starfish. Creatures that live in seawater have waited for the tide pool to fill. What's hiding in these shells? What do you think is hiding in these shells? Let's see. Mussels keep their blue shells tightly shut while the tide is out. And now they open their shells and begin to feed. Ooh. Creatures cling to the rocks around the pool. Who could live in shells like these? Who could live in these types of shells? Let's see. Barnacles come to life in the water. They reach out their feathery legs to wave tiny pieces of food into their mouth. I didn't know that's what barnacles looked like when the water came in. Ooh. Other creatures are waking up too. What are these jewel-like animals? What could they be? Two sea anemones. They're sea anemones. They're searching for food with their long, wiggly tentacles. They eat small fish and shrimp. Dark nooks under the rocks make perfect hiding places. Can you see who's resting here? Who could be resting under the rocks? Do you see anything there? I see something. What could it be? Oh, look at that. It's a little crab. A crab holds its pincers up to get ready to grab a tidbit to eat. The crab is on the move, but there's another hunter nearby. What could that be? Hold tight. A starfish uses his tube-like suckers on its underside to hold onto the rock. Another animal with suckers is resting in the tide pool. Can you count its 8 arms? What has 8 arms? What has 8 arms? Do you know? I wonder. I think it's an octopus. It has 8 long arms with suckers on the underside. It crawls slowly over the rocks. There is an animal hiding in the sand. Only its eyes can be seen. What do you think it could be? An animal hiding in the sand and only its eyes can be seen. What could it be? What could it be? I don't know. What do you think it is? Splish, splash. A small fish lives in the tide pool. It hides under rocks in the seaweed and the sand. But you didn't tell me what it is. Another tide pool creature. Why didn't they tell me what it is? I think it's a flounder, but I'm not sure.
It's a secret of the seashore.
I don't like it. That's a flaw of this book. Another tide pool creature lives in this large shell. What do you think it could be? It could be a snail, or it could be a hermit crab. I hope they tell me this time. Surprise, it's a hermit crab. And he's made his home in this empty shell. This whelk is sharing its part of the tide pool with small swimming creatures. Can you see them? Can't see them yet, but are you ready? You can see them now. Swish! Shrimp move backwards by quickly flicking their tails. Their see-through bodies are much easier to find when they move. Something is waving in the water. Which plants live in the sea? I think lots of plants live in the sea, but which ones live here? Slick and slimy seaweed anchors itself to the rocks and grows in the sun. What is slithering along the seaweed? A whelk is looking for other shellfish. It can drill a hole through a shell to eat the creature inside. Oh. Don't like that. A sleek sea otter has spotted something. Can you see what she wants for dinner? I don't see anything yet. What do you think this little sea otter wants for dinner? Well, most animals stay away from those nasty spikes, but a sea urchin is a tasty meal for the sea otter. Sea otters like to eat sea urchins. Which orange-beaked bird lives on the seashore? What orange-beaked bird lives on the seashore? What do you think? Well, that's not the one I guessed. An oyster catcher calling out to other birds. Squawk! I thought they were talking about another bird, but it's an oyster catcher. Can you see what the oyster catcher has found in the sand? Let's see what this oyster catcher has found. The oyster catcher found some clams. The oyster catcher's long beak is perfect for finding buried food. That's a good adaptation. Slowly the tide retreats, and with it much of the water in the tide pool. Its animals and plants are resting again, waiting for the next tide to come in. The end.
And cut.